Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. From Mentor Haley, I'm the president and founder of My Mentor Rocks, and I wanted to give you a brief message today about the importance of Veterans Day. So, I myself am a combat veteran. I served for 5 years as active duty in the Army, and not a lot of people really understand why Veterans Day. So, it was founded originally as Armistice Day. And then later on, it was renamed as Veterans Day to celebrate those living members that served in the U.S. Armed Forces. So, your Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, all those guys and gals that have dedicated their lives to serving our country. So, thank a veteran today. Even if you are a vet, taking advantage of all those lovely freebies, make sure you still thank your fellow men and women, especially when you see the Vietnam vets, Dub 2, World War II, and other Gulf War engagements. Thank them, because our benefits that we have today are thanks to them and the battles they have fought with the federal government to make sure that we are taken care of today. So make sure you thank them. And it shouldn't just be on Veterans Day. You should thank them any chance you get. Now, I also wanted to talk about, for those civilians out there, or common folk, everyday men and women that, maybe chose not to serve, or maybe it wasn't your choice. Maybe you didn't meet the qualifications, because I think the statistic now is about every 9 out of 10 people that go to enlist in the military are disqualified, either due to the physical needs, due to background checks, things like that. For whatever reason, they may want to volunteer, but they can't. So for you guys out there, it's important to understand what we go through as veterans. We now, in 2015, we do have it a lot better than past vets. The Vietnam vets, the reason why we celebrate Veterans Day is to celebrate veterans, because when the Vietnam vets came back, they were treated horribly. And there's so many stigmas attached to that. So they wanted to make sure that veterans returning from war, or even just serving, were treated well, and they weren't treated like outcasts or like they were these horrible people for serving their country. Because despite whether you agree with the mission that's going on right now overseas or what we do, we still volunteered to step up and do the job that so many other people don't want to do. So keep that in mind, that we go through a lot, deployed or not. And then for those of you out there that want to hate on people because they haven't been deployed and they want to put their profile picture as something of that they served or things like that, like, shame on you. Be proud of your service. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise just because you weren't deployed 1 time or 10 times, as a couple people that I know have been. They want to be like, oh, well, no. Be proud of your service. Be proud that you stepped up and that you served, whether you were in 5 combat tours or 0. You are still relevant. You've still had to struggle, because being in the military is not easy. And a lot of people will never understand that, if you get in trouble at the job, you don't get fired. You get your pay docked, or you get your weekend taken away. Or sometimes if there's an inspection coming up, you might be working till 8 or 9 o'clock at night when you've been there since 5 or 6. Sometimes earlier. It just depends. But just know that there is support from your fellow brothers and sisters out there, as well as from complete strangers like me. You might not know me. Or from my mentors at My Mentor Rocks. We have a resource library to support you, and no matter what stage of life you're in. If you're struggling right now, if your family's having issues, if you're reintegrating into the civilian workforce, we have advice. We have other organizations that can assist you to make that transition a little bit easier. So keep that in mind, mymentorrocks.org, and then you're just going to click on the resources tab, and there's a drop down, and it's going to be the veterans resources. We update it pretty frequently, and we add them as often as we can. Right now it's federal resources, so anyone can use it. However, we're about to streamline it within 2016 to include statewide resources, so that way we can try to break it down by 50 states to make sure that if there's really great organizations in your area, you know they exist, first of all, and you have access to them. So keep that in mind. Just check in with us as much as possible. So I wanted to thank you guys for serving. For those of you that haven't served, thank you for supporting our veterans. Thank you for coming to work today so that we can, enjoy some of the freebies and great things going on. As you can see, I'm at work today at my adulting job because you know what? Even though I have to be here today because it's not technically a holiday, I'm happy to have a job because there are so many veterans out there that don't. That, for whatever reason, either it's due to their disability, due to their process and healing, or due to the fact that they just can't find work right now. So I am very grateful as a combat veteran to be employed and to come into work. And if you're struggling right now, please check our resource library. There are so many organizations that have programs that can help you find employment that will work around your disabilities or anything else you've got going on. So from Mentor Hailey and from my mentor Rox, I'm here to say happy Veterans Day. Enjoy your day. Go get some pancakes from IHOP or a bloomin' onion from Outback, or Texas Roadhouse has stuff. Who else? Starbucks, you get a free coffee. Woo! But it's going to be in the red cup, so you're Satan sipper. I'm going to go get me a Satan sipper here shortly. Otherwise, I'm going to fall asleep at this desk. But happy Veterans Day. Mentor Hailey signing out.